Hey guys,
Welcome back to Faith Factor, where faith meets real life.
I'm Maddie.
And I'm Tala. And today we're going to be continuing our testimony series. And we have our next guest, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Yeah, hi, my name is Andres Egan. I'm a freshman and I'm studying chemistry with a forensic emphasis.
Perfect. Well, just in case this is your first time here or you need a recap, what a testimony is just a personal story about what Jesus has done or how he has impacted your life. It's also a chance for you to get authentic, connect with others. It's your power against the enemy, and most importantly, it's a chance for you to share your faith in the gospel story.
And we're really excited to have Andres share his testimony today because we really are wanting to see how God is working in everyone's life, especially around us. And we're just really excited that he's able to share and for him to share authentically, which will be really exciting. So let's get started.
Yeah, so I didn't really have a faith background growing up. Um, my family and I, we believed in a higher power, and every meal we'd pray to God, but it wasn't really like authentic prayers. It was kind of like the same prayers every night, just repeated, scripted from meal before.
Yeah.
And so we kind of like lived by the thoughts of just like what you put in is what you get out. We make our own destinies is pretty much our thoughts. And so I lived by that for so long that even like I went into my senior year of football thinking that. And actually that's when it kind of like opened my eyes, because my senior year of football I tore my ACL the second game of the season. And I was just like, I was really hurt because I was like committed to football. I live, breathe, ate football every day. um, and it was just painful because like that meant my football career had to stop. I was getting like, I don't know, a few, like, not too many, but a few like small D3 offers from other schools. And so like when that injury happened, I was just wondering like, what now? Like what's my purpose? What am I supposed to do? And so going into college, I went in there like not knowing what I was going to do in life. I'm gonna study forensics and chemistry, but what else? Like, what more can I do?
Yeah.
And so it was like first week of school. I was walking around campus and I ran into Survivor Weekend. Shout out Hope. And so I I met some people over there, and I was just like, I really like this, but I can't go because I'm still recovering. And so I gave my contact to a few of the people, and I heard like that from our church. I was like, this is different. Like, I want to see what this church is about. And so I reached out. I got info about the first sermon that week, and I mean, to be honest, I was just like, I didn't really like felt like I fit in because of like the whole just religious thing at the time. Like I didn't really kind of believe much in religion. And what I liked about it though was the community. Like that's what kept me coming to our church, was just the community. I grew in like my relationships with many of my brothers now. um, and it wasn't until like the gospel story that was shared with me, like that I fully like kind of understood more about religion. um, yeah, and it was actually like a Thursday afternoon that I was told the gospel story, and there was like at the end. We've been to the gospel story, right? And at the end, they ask you like, "Are you ready to like? Are you willing to commit your life?" And at that time, I was just like, I don't know. Like I wasn't really sure. I thought it was weird to me because I'm the oldest of four kids, and I was told that somebody could take my burdens and like just lift them off my shoulders, and I was just like, that's odd. Like there's no way, you know. I'm the oldest. I'm supposed to take in all this stuff, you know. Um, and so yeah, so like the next few days, I was just like really thinking about this, like thinking about everything that could, how my life could change and stuff like that. And it wasn't until the following Sunday after that Thursday, just talking about testimonies. And Testimony Sunday really changed my perspective on it. And I was just like, man, these people like have it great with God. Like their lives are prospering. Like I was amazed by hearing all their stories. And so On that day was September 22nd, 2024. Yeah, last year I gave my life to Jesus, and
Yay. Come on now.
yeah,
Let's go.
it was great. It's been going pretty good. Sometimes there are struggles. I mean, we go through struggles sometimes, but
No, yeah.
after that, like I've been like all in with my faith. I got baptized like a month later, and then that same month I got baptized in the Holy Spirit, which was great.
Yeah.
And then like I just keep like building and building, and like my life's been going really well.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
No, I feel like a lot of those points, it's like definitely I relate to them, like of not growing up with a faith background.
Hmm.
And like I was kind of hearing what you're saying, like when you first started going and you're like, yeah, this is kind of weird. Like I don't know anything about religion.
Hmm.
That's exactly how I felt.
Yeah.
And that was something that really like changed for me. And it's like the community is
Yeah.
like what you were saying, like that's definitely like what drew me towards everyone. And then it's like learning over time that you don't need to know everything when you start going. It's like you don't have to like don't have to know like the Bible stories. You don't have to like read the Bible every day to be able to go and like find a church family. Like you'll get there along the way, and it's like that first step was all that like mattered and what it took to like get you to where you are, which is just like really cool to me. But
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. Yeah, kind of similar to what Madison was saying. I also like related a lot to your story when you were like talking about like the sports part,
Mhm.
which I think is so like common but not talked about enough.
Yeah.
Because it's like that disconnect from going like having your identity like placed.
about
Mhm.
Having your identity placed in like how you perform in like a sport, or like maybe you're like in a high school club or something, and it's like you get to college and you're like,
Yeah.
none of that matters.
Mhm.
And then people are like searching for something else, which is why like I feel like a lot of people will turn to like drugs or alcohol,
Oh,
partying,
yeah, for sure.
carousing, and everything.
Hmm.
But yeah, I also think that's why the community part is so important.
Hmm.
It's like part of our movement is like winning the battle to belong, and it's like reaching like students within their first 72 hours on college campus. And it's like that's so facts. 'Cause I even see like some of my friends who like maybe weren't reached and they're like partying and things, and I'm like just like eternally grateful to God. For,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
putting that Survivor Weekend table there.
For real.
But yeah.
I kind of wanted to add something to what you were saying. But Tala literally told me this like 2 days ago because we were talking about this and like taking your identity or like interpreting your worth like through like sports or like actions or like how you perform in things. And then when that's taken away and like this is like what we were kind of talking about, it's like when you don't have that anymore, it's kind of like you don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Especially like with you in football, like you were saying, like you eat, you breathe, you eat football all the time. And then it's like once you like that one thing that took it away, it's like I don't know, did you experience like not knowing like who you were, like feeling like you didn't have worth, I guess?
Yeah, a little bit. There was a little while where it was just like, man, like what am I supposed to do? I just felt lost for so long.
Yeah.
Honestly.
No, yeah. I feel like that's like something that I would relate to too. And we were also like talking about like because sometimes I still think about that and I'm like, yeah, I can't do all the things I used to do. I don't like have like that same like I don't know, like activity that I like took my whole life or like put my whole life into it.
Yeah.
And like it was all I did. And like now not having that, sometimes I'm still like I have no talent. I'm like, why am I even here? But then Tala reminded me, she was like, think of like all the people you've met here and like especially like the church community and how much they love you. And it's like, did they know you when you were doing like football or like for me like when I was doing that whole thing? And it's like no, they weren't there, but like they saw you after when like you did feel like you were losing something or like you didn't have that, but they still love you. And it's like that just shows like how we're not called to be like judged upon like our activity or like our performance in anything, but it's like just like who we are as people. And like finding that community is something like I'm so grateful for. And it's like hearing your testimony, it's like the community part of it is just really cool. And I think it's just really beautiful. Do you have anything to say?
Do you have anything to say first?
No, I don't have anything to say, honestly. I mean, like I feel like my story is pretty relatable. There was a little while where I was like thinking about writing my story like after I gave my life and we had that 7-day follow-up. Writing out my story, I felt like I was like writing it out and I'm like, who's gonna relate to this though? Like
so many people.
That was my thoughts for though. Like I didn't have like any like drastic life
Yeah.
thing for me to go and follow Jesus. Is just like
Mhm.
this is something that could lead me into something better. And I was just like, who's gonna want to relate? Who's gonna relate to this? Who's
Mhm.
gonna want to
Yeah.
hear this story? Was
Yeah.
like my thoughts originally.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
I would definitely say like, yeah, even if it's like you're saying, there's no like drastic change or
Mhm.
something like that was like a automatic turning point for
Mhm.
you. It's like there's still people out there that are like maybe at that point that you were, but they haven't found God yet, and they're like, wow, like maybe I could have that small change
Mhm.
and like let it like change my life the way it did yours. Like just because they're like not at like some like really low point, or it's
Mhm.
like going through something really hard and like they don't feel, I don't know, because it's like even just feeling like stuck or like
Mhm.
lost, it's like God can help and like
Mhm.
God will help, and like that's what's really really cool. And so I definitely think like your testimony is very relatable, and it's like thank you for sharing because
yeah.
it was really good.
Kind of like what I was hearing you say is like, just like kind of feel like your testimony wouldn't have as much power just because like there wasn't like some drastic event that
Mhm.
happened, but something that like I've been reminded of just like hearing everyone's stories. Like I definitely think of like Izza, just like the consistencies of God through the inconsistencies of life.
Mm.
But it's like
Mhm.
God is so good and so faithful. Like I think He would prefer to find us like before we crash and burn.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's like something I think about. I'm like, no, like you saying that could like plant that seed in someone's heart and be like, dang, like
Mhm.
like yeah. For me, like I also didn't grow up with a faith background.
Mhm.
That's why I go up to the Survivor table. I'm like,
Yeah. This is the
who is
church,
this?
right?
Who is this girl?
Yeah.
Who's this girl? Give her my contact info. But like, so when I go through the gospel, I have no idea who Jesus is, and I'm
Yeah.
like, all right. I was just like, sure, like, like what do I have to lose?
Mhm.
But it's like, in that moment, I was like, there's not like a drastic event where I'm like, oh yeah, like God has answered everything.
Yeah.
But it's also like, I guess it makes sense too. Because like I don't know if you relate to this, but like in the gospel story, or like if you've been in a gospel appointment,
Mhm.
it's like, dang, like when have you felt separated from God?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
a lot of the times when people are saying that, they're like, they grew up with faith, they're like, I walked away from my faith like in high school or
Yeah,
college.
yeah.
And I'm like, that's not like me,
Yeah.
like I don't relate. But
Mhm.
then like I realized like just sharing authentically, like like I actually didn't know who God was, so I didn't
Mhm.
actually know what I was missing out on.
Yeah.
Like that has so much power.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's something I really like about your testimony too.
I kind of wanted to go back to like something that you had said in your testimony, which was like when going through the gospel story, and you're like, yeah, you're the oldest of all your siblings, and
Yeah.
it's like constantly carrying the weight of like others' burdens or like worries or just like wanting to take care of others, and then you're hearing like all of a sudden like you don't know who Jesus is, but it's just like this guy can literally
Yeah.
take all of your worries like and he'll clean you from inside out, and it's like yeah, like what, like
Yeah.
that's crazy, and it's like just hearing that. And it's like obviously like I feel like most people would be like what, like what do you mean,
Mhm.
especially if like you grew up like kind of like taking care of your siblings or just
Yeah.
like doing so much for others, and
Mhm.
like you just like constantly felt the stress on yourself. Like that could be like something that could be, I don't know, just a little bit scary at first, I feel. But it's like,
Yeah.
how do you feel like that has changed like since you have given your life to Jesus? Like have you felt like a drastic change in that area?
Oh yeah, for sure. I pray for my siblings a lot. Pray for my family a lot because though I'm not there to like help out around the house, I mean I know he's there to help them. Like my dad's military, right, and he deals with like the daily stresses of just people younger than him being a shop chief, dealing with all these moving parts, and so I pray for him all the time. My mom too. She's by herself right now because my dad's in North Dakota, but she has to take care of 3 kids. My sister's 15. My brother's 9. Yeah, he's 9. And then my sister's 16. Before she gets upset, she's watching the show, by the way. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Uh,
Wait, can we name drop her or is that
Yeah, go ahead.
okay?
Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Yeah.
Okay.
At
Oh, are we gonna at her?
I don't know her ad.
Oh no, just her name.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. So both my sister and my mom are watching this, but like
what's your mom's name?
Annabelle.
That's it.
At Annabelle. Thank you for watching.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But yeah, so I pray for them. And then my youngest sister's 11 months as of yesterday. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Stop. Do you
Yeah.
have pictures?
Yes, I do. I'll show you
Oh,
afterwards.
oh no, yeah, not on here.
Yeah,
That'd be weird.
I'll show you
Yeah, we
afterwards.
Please don't. Please don't show.
Is a thing too.
But
Yeah, please. That's no, that's so. I forgot we were filming
Yeah.
for a second. No, yeah, don't show your
no,
sister
that's
on here.
that's
But
no,
no.
that's good though.
Yeah, okay, we'll cut that part out.
No.
But yeah. So I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, I just pray for my mom because she's by herself, taking care of 3 kids.
Yeah.
Right now, I mean, my dad will be back soon, but
Yeah.
it's kind of a lot because it's a baby, a teenager, and
Yeah.
and a
A
fourth grader.
regular
Yeah,
old.
no, fourth grader, not a regular old. I don't know. I don't know about that one.
What did you just say?
A regular year old.
Regular year old.
I love when they talk regular. She says that about portions.
Oh,
No. Side
I'm
tangent. No, listen.
Okay, I'm listening.
You know, I don't want to start crying. You know, like they're singing and it's like so good,
Uh-huh.
and then they just like start speaking to God and like the people,
Yeah.
and it's like in their regular voice. Bro.
No, yeah. She always goes, I love when they talk regular.
No,
Okay.
it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, let's let him finish this story.
But yeah, as I was,
We'll cut that.
you good? Before we
Okay,
start.
so yeah, your mom and like 3.
Yeah, just taking care, and I know that can be a lot for her. So I just pray for her also, and I know that Jesus has got is on their side and is taking care of them.
Yeah.
And he's moving in my house. I've heard like
Really?
he's doing good things. Like my sister, she's wanting to go kind of all in more. Like she asked me already about. She's only 16, but she asked me like, "What's the
Yeah.
Pink Book?" And I was like, that's for college. I was like, that's what I
You're
told
not
her.
reading that right
Not
now.
yet, not yet.
Oh,
That's what I told her. But she watched last week's, and she's gonna watch this week's sermon, and she's gonna continue
This week's
watching.
gonna cook for her,
No,
too.
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
that is so good.
And
Yeah.
my mom's wanting to look into the non-denominational church over at Ellsworth Air Force Base and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So yeah, he's doing a lot of good
Where does
stuff.
your family live?
Ellsworth Air Force Base is in South Dakota.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like hearing about like your family, like how does that make you feel? Like, is it like kind of like another weight off your chest? Because I feel like I don't know, like knowing that your family is like beginning to know God, like
Yeah, it definitely is.
Mhm.
It kind of like, I mean, there was a little bit where I was kind of like nervous for my family while I was gone because
No,
like
yeah.
I'm kind of like I was kind of a big part of over
Mhm.
there,
Yeah.
and so yeah, like now that like being part of like this Christian faith and this Christian community, and then my family being like wanting to be more
yeah,
into it too, like a part of it, I think it's great, and it does ease a lot of
Yeah.
tension.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, pause.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's definitely something that I'm kind of striving for
Mhm.
is to like getting to see my family know God, and so it's like that's very inspirational, like seeing how God is moving in your family,
Mhm.
and it's like, yeah, just like how you're expressing your faith and like what they see,
Mhm.
and like just sharing it with them, like that's really beautiful, and it's like that's just something I'm praying for. But yeah, thanks for sharing.
Mhm.
Okay, so I have a question per
Okay.
usual. But yeah, just because you said you didn't really like grow up with a faith background, and it was kind of like there's a higher power there. Like we kind of prayed like
Mhm.
before we ate. Like
Yeah.
what does that look like for you now? Like, and your
Like-
family.
Oh, I mean, they still do, well, like the same prayer. Like I'm
Yeah.
on the phone with them, I can hear, and I was like, okay, amen.
Yeah, that's good.
But no, no, I see that their interest is there,
Yeah.
with God. I think they like starting to see like how God's like kind of moving in my life, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
like seeing how they're moving. It's doing good things for my family. It's not like because before, like I don't know, they thought that I would like be crazy because I was just like just in the house all the time. You
Yeah.
know? But no, I was like, that's not my scene, and so going into this,
Yeah.
they're like, this is great, and I think they too want to take part of it.
Yeah. What have been like the biggest changes? Like, I guess like in your personality or like how you respond to things.
Honestly, given my life to Jesus, I have less anxiety about my future pretty
Yeah.
much. I
Mm.
mean, it's still stuff
That's good.
I think about, but I like when I pray, I know that the Lord has got my back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus got you.
Yeah. And so that's one thing for sure. Other than that, like personality wise, I'm still me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
my like going like being a Christian didn't change how I was because
Mhm.
I mean I am what I am.
Yeah.
You know?
For
I
sure.
am what I am.
No, that's good.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's very relatable. Like future anxiety,
Mhm.
that's a big thing that I
Yeah.
experience, and it's like a lot of people. I feel like, and like just knowing that like God has a plan for you,
Mhm.
and it's like if it's God's will, it will happen. And so
Yes.
that's what's really beautiful. And just like, kind of, would you say that like you had like a plan for your future, and like it's kind of changed since giving your life to God?
Oh
or-
yeah, I have like all these plans planned
Mhm.
in my head. I mean,
Yeah.
I let's see how. Okay, I love to play chess, you know, and then
Mhm.
in chess you have to think 10 steps ahead every time,
Mhm.
and that's how I took my life to be. Was
Yeah.
like it's a chess game, and so like I was like, all right, going to college. I am gonna do well in school. I'm gonna, was it like, and like eventually I'll find a girl, and then from there we'll have a family and stuff like that. Like I had
Yeah.
that planned out, and then like career wise, I'll go out to Phoenix. I'll go work for the police department, and like I had like all those planned
Mhm.
out, and now I'm just kind of, I what is the Lord telling me to do? Where am I supposed to go?
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, that's really good.
Mhm.
And I feel like that change is something that's like so fulfilling, honestly. Just
Mhm.
like knowing like God's plan is so much better than our own.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. So that's really good. Yeah. So I definitely relate to that too. But
Gonna say like since following Jesus and like putting your faith in him, like
Mhm.
have your plans like changed at all or
They've been more focused on my faith, if anything, being
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
focused on kind of like on the now, which is just like what's coming up, the events coming up, such as spring break mission and stuff
Mm.
like that. I've been really excited about that.
Yeah.
And then just like down the line, I'm kind of now like where's God gonna take me? Where is He gonna place
Yeah.
like trusting in him to
Mhm.
put you where you need to be instead of like trying to figure it out
me? Hmm.
all by yourself.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Wait, do you have something?
No, it's okay.
Okay. Something that I was also thinking about, like when you were talking about like hearing God, which I think is like missed a lot. But I don't know if you did like the Pursuit, 21 Days of Prayer and Fasting.
Oh, I didn't get the book. I mean, I did fast, but I
Yeah.
just didn't read the
No,
book.
that's fair. But there's a part of it, and honestly, I think they might have said this at church, or maybe it just exists in my head. I don't really know. But it's like prayer is supposed to be like a dialogue, not a monologue.
Mm.
And when I like really like put that in my head, that was like game changing for me because I was like, dang, like yeah, like I'm literally praying to God, like, and I should like I don't know, be like more focused on hearing Him after, because sometimes
Mhm.
it can be like yeah, like obviously like giving God thanks and like
Mhm.
asking Him for help, but then like really like listening to Him and trusting like He hears your prayers and He wants
Yeah.
to help you. Like
Yeah.
that was game changing for me. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I need to lock in my praying.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, and then another thing I was thinking about, just because you said like you were the oldest sibling,
Mhm.
I feel like it's just like so beautiful to see how like God can kind of like what Madison was saying, like take the burden off of you.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like, yeah, as the oldest, you have to have it figured out. You have to be 10 steps ahead. Like, when are the kids getting home from school? Like,
Mhm.
who's cleaning the house? Who's
Yeah.
getting here?
Yeah.
But how's that been? Like, do you feel like less stress, just like,
Oh yeah.
and like
for sure.
regular things?
No, yeah. I feel less stressed altogether. I feel more
Yeah.
content about myself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know.
For sure. Do you say that like feeling content? It's like, what do you say? It's like your life, or like just like yourself as a person.
Both actually.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there was a little while with my personality. Like I was like thinking about my personality, just like, am I to this? Am I to that? You know, just kind
Yeah.
of like judging myself
Mhm.
constantly. I mean, and I think about like this quote kind of on the daily, whereas Mike Tyson, love that guy. Anyway, he
Shout
he
out Mike.
said,
Mike
yeah,
Tyson.
at Mike Tyson.
Please watch.
But no, he said, shoot, a friend. He said, I forgot the first part, but the second part was a friend or a person who is friend to all is an enemy to himself. you know.
Mm,
And I
yeah.
kind of lived with that because like I was like, dang, that's true. Because like for me, that was me just like always judging myself, always trying to improve, like
Yeah.
thinking I need to improve something
Mhm.
when I actually didn't,
Yeah.
you know.
No, that's
Yeah.
good. I feel like that's definitely really relatable and
Mhm.
like something that I feel like for me has changed too. Just like my view on myself and like wanting to act like a certain way,
Mhm.
or even like around like my church family. It's like wanting to like act a certain way. I'm like, will they perceive me this way?
Yeah.
And we actually like had this talk, and it's like, if like someone's gonna like view you a certain way or be like, I don't want to be friends with them
Yeah.
because of how you're acting, even though there's nothing wrong with it,
Mhm.
and they're just not meant for you, you know. And it's
Mhm.
like not meant to like, it's just not their time or something. But
Mhm.
yeah, so I think that's definitely something that like God does like can help change, and like
Mhm.
I feel like is very inspirational to a lot of people, because I feel like that's really common to like struggle with your view of yourself, or just like overthinking how you act in situations, and like wanting to manipulate your actions or like your mannerisms. um yeah, but thank you for sharing.
Mhm.
Something that I thought of when you were saying that, there's like a verse in Luke 6. It's like, blessed are you, like when the world hates you and scorns your name as evil and like excludes you on account of the Son of Man. Like,
Mm.
rejoice, for your reward is great in heaven. And there's another one that like just kind of talks about, kind of like how you're saying, like if you're friends with everyone, you're an enemy to yourself.
Mhm.
And then Jesus is like, yeah, like if you love the world, like you hate me, like.
Mhm.
And I just kind of think about that because like with your identity and everything that you're doing and trying to like fit in, like
Mhm.
a lot of times it can be finding like your value in like worldly things and like, well, how am I supposed to act around like this group of people or
Yeah,
this group of
yeah.
people? But it's like, if we act how the world wants us to act, like
Exactly.
we're not acting how Jesus wants us to act.
Mhm.
Just something that helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Like going on what you said about like the church thing. Church is like a hospital for like spirituality.
It is.
So it's like, I hate this stigma where it's like, oh yeah, like you show up to church and like, yeah, like you're worshiping and like you're so happy and like, oh my gosh, like say hi to all your friends. But it's like, dude, like sometimes when you go to church, like, yeah, you're going there hurt and like
Mhm.
there needs to be room for that too, and people need to recognize that. And, like,
Mhm.
I think like Hope actually does a pretty good job of that.
Yeah.
They do for sure.
I had something I kind of forgot, but yeah, that was really good.
I think honestly, my recovery's been great. I'm finally getting back to squatting, which is great. I mean, I have to wear my brace, but it helps out a lot. Running's been great. Some nights I'll just go for a run, and I run around campus, and that's awesome.
How far post op are you?
How far? It's February. Like a year and a month. Yeah. Yeah. So the year process is over. Now it's just kind of rebuilding.
Okay, so thank you so much for sharing. I feel like your testimony was very like relatable
Mhm.
and like honestly really inspirational in like a lot of different parts. And I feel like just seeing like how like even everyone's testimony that we've seen is so different.
Mhm.
And it's just seeing how God is working in everyone's life is like, wow, like that's so crazy. But it's like we've all gotten to like this point that we're at, and we're like in community together.
Mhm.
And just seeing like everywhere, everyone came from somewhere different, and it's like,
We all found each other. So
yeah, like God brought everyone together, and it's like seeing what he did in your life. And so I just want to say thank you for sharing, and I really think like a lot of people are going to relate to this,
Mhm.
and really excited to put it out, and glad that you were able to come and share. So
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. I'm gonna continue to pray for you guys. I think this show's gonna be great. I have a lot of families, so they'll probably be watching. Honestly. And then hopefully they get the word out too.
yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys, and I'd be honored if you guys invite me again some other
Oh,
time.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of just saying what Maddie said, like, thank you so much. I feel like it was really nice to be able to connect with you on that level too, because like I don't think you've ever heard his testimony either.
no, I haven't.
But yeah, it was a little nervous at first, but like it was so beautiful and so good just to see how God is moving in your life. But yeah. Well, that was all we had for today. You can catch us for another testimony next time.
Smash that like button.
And drop a football emoji in the comments if you made it to this part of the video. We love you.
Oh, and we have to post for the thumbnail.
Oh yeah.
Is it still filming?
Yeah.
Okay, I just gotta. It's for my mom. All right.
Oh!
Hey Ma, thanks for watching. Thank you for all the support. Love you guys. Yeah, Mercy. Can't wait to talk to you about our next sermon.
That's
I'm gonna cry.
cute. Okay, that's good.
Pastor
It's Pastor
Sam!
Sam.